TV fans, and I am live from San Antonio, Texas. This is Matt with BZBGEAR, and joining me from Sacramento, California, we have Joelski Cruz. What you doing, brother?
Hello. Hey, I'm good, man. Just enjoying the springtime weather now. Sun is coming out. It's still a bit cold. It's weird because last week it felt like summer weather. Is already almost like 90, 80, high 80s. And then this week it's barely 70. So I know that I think you mentioned on the previous stream that in Texas it's like wildly random, like one day.
It can be. Yeah, I mean, right now it's about 84, so it's not too bad today. But we've been having some kind of like summer storms happening. Good news is we've been getting a lot of rain, so plenty of green. So that's a good thing to see. When I came out here this time last year, we weren't getting as much rain, and it was kind of a little depressing. Things were looking like they were dying off. All the corn was like dying. It was yellow, and so that doesn't seem to be the case this year. So we're looking pretty good.
Well, same thing about California. I think even though we did have some good rain earlier this season, but I think drought-wise, I think we're still kind of in the red. But hopefully it's getting better. But I have a feeling that this summer is gonna be. It seems like every year we're having record heat now. I think last year, at least for California-wise, we hit record temperatures last summer. And I think it just every year it's just gonna keep expanding. It's crazy. I don't know if it's the ozone layer and the global warming. I think is real. Everybody, all you people who
Well, you know what they say, Joel. It has to get worse before it gets better. So hopefully, it's just we're setting records and then it gets better. So we'll see. But speaking of weather, I'm kind of wondering what the weather's going to be like on the eastern seaboard of the United States. Maybe in a specific state. I think Florida. Yeah, Florida. There's a lot of cool stuff happening in Florida. One of the really coolest things I think about Florida, though, is Disney World. I'm a pretty big fan. Are you?
I am. Orlando, that's where all the magic happens, right? So
yeah, tons of magic happening in Orlando.
I was gonna do a personal story. Have you been to Disney World before?
I have actually, yeah.
Okay, so I've only when I was younger, but I had no idea what I was in for, because Disneyland. Have you been to Disneyland, Southern California? Okay, so Disneyland, it's really, really, it's nice already. But it's just one park, right? So you have like Animal Kingdom, you have Tomorrowland, all of that just in one nice big park. What tripped me out with Disney World is when you go there, it's like its own world. It's like its own city. Because when you get inside, so they break up, instead of one park, Tomorrowland, Animal Kingdom, I forgot what the other ones are, but
they're all basically their own parks, yeah.
Exactly. So then when you go in, it's kind of like you're on a highway and you have to take exits. So, you're driving a little and then you say you want to go Animal Kingdom, you exit here. You want to go Tomorrowland, you have to drive a little further down, you take that exit. It was just amazing, like how, and there's no way that you can do the Disney World Park in one day. Because it's all separate parks.
Yeah, there's so much to do.
You might need 3-4 days, a whole week. Even like when we went, we only enjoyed maybe 2 of the parks. So there was just so much to try and do. But it was still a good experience. Do you know if Star Wars is? Hello from Italy.
Buongiorno.
Ciao. Is it ciao? It's ciao. Ciao. Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in.
Sorry, I'm kind of like interjecting here, but one of my favorite things about Disney, and this was like one of my favorite things to see when I went to like Disneyland or Disney World, was Fantasia. I don't know. Have you ever seen that?
I was just talking to our colleague Trayvon earlier. I have. I don't recall a lot, but then he said that he used to watch it as a kid all the time, back to back on the VHS.
There's the VHS version, like the actual like animated version, but they also did a like a live action version basically at the parks. They haven't done it in a while, but that's actually a perfect thing to actually talk about what we really want to talk about today, and that's Infocomm. Infocomm is actually kind of having this really cool event that they're doing this year at Infocomm 2023 that actually involves Disney, and it's involving Fantasia because I guess they're bringing it back. So that's a pretty cool thing to know, and I think that's a perfect diving spot to actually get into what we're going to be talking about, and that's Infocomm 2023. Joel, what do you want to take away? Where do we want to start with Infocomm?
I guess just in the general sense, I know we will, just to kind of foreshadow, we will get into just the general gist of Infocomm, like who goes, what it's about. Talk about last year's show, which I believe was the first post-pandemic live show. And then also touch on like our exhibit there at this year, but this being kind of a two-parter. Infocomm, we will save more of the big details on what you can expect, the new solutions, the new tech from BZBGEAR, what we'll be showcasing at the show in the next episode. Here, we'll kind of tease it, but in this main episode, we'll just be about generally what Infocomm is about. And what Infocomm is, it is the largest professional audiovisual trade show in North America. It tackles everything from, digital signage to entertainment, conferencing, collaboration, anything pro AV wise. And with this show, what's great about this show is that they incorporate just every aspect of the AV industry, meaning that you really don't even have to go to any other, AV show if you don't have to. Like, this is the main event, and it covers everything that you need to know. So all pro AV enthusiasts out there, this is the place to be this summer.
Yeah, and we are only 15 days away, so it is coming up real fast.
Yeah,
I know we're definitely kind of in the hitting the ground running stage of it, so we're definitely getting really focused on going there. And I want to talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing. Like Joel said, this stream isn't going to be purely talking about what we're going to be doing at the show or what we're showing off. But I did want to mention, I believe, Joel, correct me if I'm wrong, that this is the biggest trade show that not the biggest trade show, but the biggest presence that we are having at a trade show yet.
correct.
So the largest booth, the most products, all of that stuff.
The largest team there. So so last year at Infocomm 2022, that was our first year exhibiting at the show. We've been to the show before, but as exhibitors, it was our first show, and everything's kind of new to us. We're kind of green, and we didn't know what to expect. But we felt that it was very successful. We had a pretty large booth, as I forgot the actual size, but it was a good size. But this year, we are having the largest exhibit size, not just at Infocomm, last year at Infocomm, but all of our shows that we've been exhibiting at. This will be the largest, which is a 20 by 30. So we will have a bunch of products, different stations set up. You can see our 8K, new 8K gear, a view of our IP, our award-winning cameras. And that's why we need the pretty much the largest team that we're going to have. We are bringing it to Infocomm because it's a large booth. We're going to need as much help as we can. That means, only maybe 10-minute lunches, quick bathroom breaks. Everyone's got to be on their game at this show. But everybody, we've been prepping hard here, because we just had NAB, what was it, back in April, just a month or so ago.
Just over a month ago.
Yeah. So, so it's kind of like we had a little breather from that big show because NAB is the largest broadcasting North America show. So now we're going to the largest pro AV show. So we only had a little time to kind of relax, but we've been just kind of on our toes, just prepping, trying to get our booth together, ship everything, and we're trying just getting training. So everything is coming along. It's been busy. So sorry to if we've been kind of communicate. I know there's some communication where it's kind of slow, but we will get back to everybody and answer everyone's questions. But Infocom
Absolutely.
is a big deal, and we're really excited.
Well, let's go ahead and jump into. I think that's a good place to go to the next topic. That's going to be why you should attend Infocomm. So let me go ahead and start this off. I haven't personally been to Infocomm, so for me, it's going to be pretty cool going to Infocomm. I've been to NAB, so I know what NAB's like, but I haven't been to the Pro AV side of things. But there's going to be some really cool things out there. So first of all, it is a great way to see things that you might be interested in, and more importantly, a lot of times going to these trade shows, basically going to these booths of these manufacturers, distributors, all of these things that you might buy from personally or carry things that you might be interested in. It's a great way to get your hands on them and try them out yourselves on the showroom floor. I know I've personally done it on my free time when I've been at NAB, whether that's on taking 10 minutes of whatever lunchtime I have just to stop by a certain booth that I was interested in. Joel knows all about this because I talked to his ear off at NAV about a camera, but it's just a fantastic way to kind of see what's out there and more importantly, see what other people are doing and kind of see if what you thought you wanted was actually what you wanted.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's cool that, we may be exhibitors at Infocomm, but we are just as much fans as, and enthusiasts, just as like the attendees and the guests that come wanting to see like the latest trends, the latest technology.
Mm-hmm.
So we get giddy about that stuff as well,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it kind of comes with the territory. Being in the field at some point or another, there's got to be something in the AV or broadcasting side that kind of resonates with you and just piques your interest, even if you don't do it, like even if you don't really use those items that much, like it probably is something that you might be willing to dedicate some time and effort into researching and just knowing about. So just being able to see those things in person and being able to actually mess with them is really cool. So let's move on to the second point. It's a way to find new solutions that you didn't even know existed. There's definitely a lot of that. There's so much specialized gear in the AV world. It's absolutely mind-blowing. Like when I first came into the company, I wasn't really the AV side. I was more the broadcasting side. So now I'm more exposed to a lot of stuff that we carry that I'm like, wait, people have a need for that? Okay, that's really cool. So like, like multi-viewers, matrix switches, like I didn't really interact with that before I came to BZBGEAR. So that's one aspect of something where it's like, I didn't know about it, but now I do. And that's just an example. But when you go to a trade show, you see a lot more specialized things, like crazy specialized. I don't know if you have an example, Joel, that you've seen at some of these trade shows.
Well, the one that keeps popping in my head is that main attraction right before you get in. I don't know if it was that might have
NAB.
That might have been NAB, but I mean, it goes to this story, to our story here that it was the Tron. It looked like a Tron bike.
Yeah, the Tron bike, the fake bike.
Yeah, in front of the screen, they got the wind blowing, so it looks like you're riding through the city or whatever. Just something like that. Like I don't know. I mean, it looks super cool, but then what? Like, where would you actually use that type of technology? I guess it looks very extravagant. Like I don't know, like what everyday use they would put it in. So there is a lot of stuff with that. It's very fantastic, but then you got to think, it looks super cool, but then is it practical? Like, what do I use it in? Because I mean, when we get into like AR, AI and AR stuff, virtual stuff, they had a bunch of sets there as well. So I'm anticipating a lot of that we're going to see at Infocomm, this year, along with like 8K. I think 8K is going to be AI, and then 8K probably like the biggest trends that we'll see. Because I mean, and the previous shows that we've been to earlier this year, that they were kind of pushing that already. So I think that's where the market is going.
Yeah, I think one of the big things that you'll probably see, and it's really cool stuff if you've never experienced it, is going to be a lot of interactive experiences. So whether that's AR, VR, stuff like that, that's probably going to be pretty big at Infocomm this year. I know Infocomm has been really kind of teeing off on that on their website. They've been really about the experiences that you can have there. So the interactive experiences specifically. So I would definitely keep my eyes out for that. So let's go ahead and move on to the next point. And this is one that I personally find the most interesting when I'm at a trade show. And this is going to be both from a attendee perspective and also an exhibitor perspective. So it's one of the best ways to interact with manufacturers and to give feedback. Personally, I know we've received a lot of feedback at shows like NAB, ISE, stuff like that. And it's kind of led to some improvements that we've made on our end, because it's really helpful when we have the opportunity to sit down, not really sit down, but just stand with you and talk with you and see what you're looking for in our products, whether it's our camera, our matrix switches, our 8K devices, like you name it. It's very, very valuable insight. For example, I know one of the feedbacks that we got, because we always have our Adamo 4Ks, because we just love showing off that product because it's a great product and a lot of people really love it. But specifically the AI auto tracking, that's been something that we've kind of been like, hey, you know what? Why don't you try this for yourself? And people are able to try it. And some of the feedback that we got was, wow, that's really good. Like, it's actually crazy that it tracks me like 70 feet that way on the showroom floor. Yeah. The one thing is, though, it's got a little bit too much headroom. And so we've taken that feedback, and we now, like in our last stream, like we showed off, we've kind of been developing solutions for that. So it's a big help for us.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big talking point. I mean, we just had a live stream. Our last episode prior to this one actually was the software and particularly the AI software updates that we did with our Adamo camera. And just like you mentioned, it was the headroom, and that's what people noticed on the show floor. We were actually in the process of correcting that, uploading that. So it was like perfect timing that that they mentioned it, because now we do have it implemented now. So the headroom, now we have 3 like high, low, medium, high, depending if you want more headroom, if you want less, or just in the middle or whatnot. So yeah, so we tackled that issue. So just like you said, like just talking to people at the show, you get to pick their brains. They bring up scenarios that maybe that we didn't experience, or we didn't think of in the beginning. And it just gets us thinking like, hey, that's a good idea. Can we incorporate that somehow to our products? So yeah, it's definitely Infocomm, like these type of shows, definitely very beneficial, and just getting, learning new things, and then just seeing what other people, what they feel and what they want their products, their cameras and whatnot to do.
Yeah, and on the flip side, it's also an opportunity for us as exhibitors to kind of be like, hey, you know what? You say you want this feature set out of the product that you're looking at right now. We actually have another product here that does the same exact thing, but it also includes that. So it's a great way to kind of dial in what you're looking for. And I think I have one final point here, and we'll go ahead and wrap this topic up. It's a great way for exhibitors and companies to end up collaborating with each other. So this is more targeted towards our exhibitor friends, our other companies that we work with. It's just a great way to kind of connect with the people that you probably send emails to already, and kind of just talk shop, get to know a face to the name, and maybe even do something special at the showroom floor or hammer some really cool stuff out. So just in general, I think trade shows are a fantastic thing that you should attend if you can. And more specifically, Infocomm is going to be a really, really fun time. So I think that is something that we'll go ahead and pivot to our next topic here. And that's going to be, well, if you're new to attending like trade shows, we actually had a really cool write-up that our friend Trayvon at the office kind of wrote up for us. And it's going to kind of be the first-timer's guide to attending Infocomm. Let me go ahead and pull it up here on the stream, and I'll let Joel kind of talk a little bit about this one.
Yeah, no, it was a fascinating topic because everyone is always concentrating and worried about the type of tech, the newest stuff, right? But then you sometimes forget about it's kind of a grueling like 3-4 day event. Well, this one's going to be 3 days. So like trade shows in general, they can be grueling because there's a lot of walking, there's a lot of talking, there's a lot of energy expended. So this was a very wonderful article that he wrote just on the smaller things that you might forget. So for instance, comfortable shoes, that's like the number one, even for exhibitors, that when we go, you have to be cognizant of the because you're going to be on your feet all day. It'll be good to have your pedometer or your step tracking monitors on, because you'll be walking miles, like through the show.
Absolutely.
Like back and forth the aisles easily. So everything from just comfortable shoes. I don't know if there was here, water. You got to keep hydrated. Badge registration confirmation. So I think a lot when we went to the last show, NAB, everything was digital now. So you had your scanner, your badge, basically through your phone. So you had to register with your phone. I kind of like it because you're saving paper, plastic, the time to print. It's always kind of hectic when you're trying to get your badge. I mean, when there was still the physical badge, a lot of the registration and other stuff it's all digital. So things like that. So plan ahead. Early on before you go, see what companies, i.e. BZBGEAR, that you would like, that you find interesting, or that you want to learn more about. So make sure you schedule ahead, see where they're located in the hall. I think it's just one main hall this time. I could be mistaken. I don't know if they're going to be at the two separate halls, but I believe it's just one big hall. But even if it's just one hall, it is a huge hall. So make sure that you map out the places you want to visit, and then try to be efficient with it. If you're meeting multiple people, maybe get a group. Don't go to one end of the hall and then the next one you want to visit is on the other end. So to kind of group them together. Just kind of be cognizant of that. Business cards. Bring a portable charger. So same thing with exhibitors. This was big for us. Everybody had their phone, like, hey, we need to charge it before we go off to the meeting or whatnot. So portable chargers, portable cables. That's a must for attendees. And I think that's the gist of it. They had a few more things if you want to go on our website, bzbgear.com, head over to our learning hub, where Trayvon creates a bunch of informational, great articles.
I'll save you the typing. I already put it in the chat here, so if you want to go take a look at it, you can go ahead and just click on the link in the chat. It's down there. But I think that brings us to the next order of business here, and that's going to be kind of hand in hand. What is there to do at Infocomm? I know we've kind of talked a little bit about, it's everything pro AV. So, it's tons of stuff. You name it, it's probably there. If you're into esports, it's going to be there. If you're into, if you're an educator, so if you're a teacher, it's going to be there. There's going to be education products. It's just, there's a massive amount of stuff that's there. So anything from esports, education, networking, interactive experiences, training, and I think this is probably going to be my favorite one. There's even going to be dog adoptions at NAB, apparently. Sorry, I keep saying NAB at Infocomm. My bad. So Infocomm has a really cool page on their website, and it's kind of talking about what's new at Infocomm. So I'm just going to go ahead and screen share it real quick. Let me grab this. And this is kind of where we got the idea to talk a little bit about Disneyland, or not Disneyland, Disney World, because if you're going through here, you'll actually see some of the stuff. So, there's the playground and adoption event for dogs, which I mean, like crazy.
I did see that. Yeah, I was reading about that. That does seem pretty is new. Like you don't
they
see,
have yoga,
organic objects. It's all like just hardware. So like there's going to be a
so they have interactive experiences, but this is what I was talking about with Phantasmic. So
yeah, you brought that up earlier.
There's some really cool stuff that's going to be happening at Infocomm. So I would highly recommend that if you're not sure, like what you want to do, or if this is even something that you want to attend, maybe check out the what's new at Infocomm, see if there's anything that catches your eye, because it might be something to add to your schedule, and you might not have known that, for example, there's going to be something involving Disney World and Fantasia at Infocomm. Like I didn't know anything about that.
If you could bring up that the page again. So like
absolutely.
right off the bat on the top, you mentioned it earlier about esports. So I think that's like one of the main new things that it was pretty interesting. They're actually going to have collegiate teams at the show battle it out. Competitive. They're going to show the how they create they call it a home field for competitive play, a practice field. So they're going to have different setups for these e-gamers. Set up. I'm envisioning maybe like a bunch of video walls and some cool, interactive things like that. So,
it's a huge business, esports. It's only growing too, so it makes a lot of sense. It's a really, really large portion of AV and broadcasting now.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's crazy how it's just taken off. I don't know if well, I guess it was even prior to the pandemic stuff that it was already growing big. But yeah. And then just a few other things I knew at the show that was on the page is the Trailblazer Zone. So I thought this was interesting. I like it. We could have done it but since we're in our second year, we can't be invited to that. But it's for all first-time exhibitors. If you're a first-time exhibitor there, it'll highlight these new companies trying to get in the game. So get their foot in the door. So that I think that's a wonderful program with Infocomm. And then some interactive events. You mentioned the Disney World, and then they also have a yoga. If you want to start off your day for the long day, you're going to be on your feet, and stuff like that. They do have a few yoga classes, a couple of the mornings, Wednesday and Thursday, that will help benefit your mental and physical wellness. So there's a bunch of new things. So if it's your first time going to Infocomm or your 10th time, there is always something new. And if you visit this page, you'll see all the new stuff that they got. A lot of cool stuff going on there.
Yeah, tons of really sick stuff going on at Infocomm. So I'm pretty excited about it. I think that pretty much might be just about everything that we wanted to talk about regarding to just the generalized Infocomm. We do have a great comment here from Pure Butter, and they say, I would like to see Joel wearing yoga pants. I don't know if you could necessarily talk Joel into that. I mean, who knows?
I do not want to see that.
Who knows? If you come
Yoda, if it's Yoda, maybe if it's Yoda pants, I could be down with some Yoda pants. But I don't know about yoga. Well, I will show you this cool shirt. I will show you this cool shirt that I am wearing right now.
Isn't there a story about that shirt?
Shout out! Oh, I know. It does say 20, right? So
yeah.
Okay, so there is a pretty cool story. Back in, was it IC 18? It must have been 18 or 19. Before the pandemic, we were approached by one of our friends from Avixa, and she said, "Can you help us with some marketing? Our marketing campaign. Would you care to kind of participate in it?" So, she brought us over to like a cocktail room. They were having, like a meet and greet. They had a photographer there. And then me and my colleague, Florante, the man behind the camera here, we were at the show, and they, took a bunch of photos. And they said, okay, get ready for you're going to be part of our campaign. You guys are going to be mega stars of IC20, right? We're so excited. And then what happens during 19 and 20 is the pandemic. So so I was going to have we got a few printouts here. That's what it is on the screen there. So we were gonna be. I couldn't wait to see our. It would have been so cool to see our our pictures in the main lobby on the plastered on the big windows and all of that. I think we were in the guide, the Infocomm guides. So we were ready to go, ready to sign autographs. We had our Sharpie pens ready, and then we get the announcement from CDC that everything is shut down. And as a result, IC20 never happened. I remember if it was canceled or if they tried a virtual show. I know they tried a virtual Infocomms for a year or two during that pandemic. But we were just super bummed that we could not.
We almost had Infocomm royalty.
And, yeah. Oh, so Avixa, Infocomm, if you guys are watching, me and my colleague Florante from BZBGEAR are free. We have nothing planned in our schedule books for IC24. So, hit up the comment section or give us a call. We are free. We are we are very open to joining your campaign for next year's show. So if you guys would like to re-employ or get us back in the game, we are game.
Well, I think we've covered pretty much everything that we want to cover. That is to say, we are going to have a second stream regarding Infocomm, and that will be live at the showroom floor. We are going to be big. We're full steam ahead on Infocomm. So, keep your eyes peeled for the stream. We're going to have a really fun time while we're there. And we're definitely bringing a ton of stuff. It's going to be most of our lineup, lots of presence at Infocomm to engage with people that are going to be there. So if you're there, we'd love to see you. And I think to that end, I'm going to throw this graphic up real quick so that way you can actually come save this screenshot or whatever so you know exactly where we're at. And here we go.
There you go.
So June 14th through 16th, Orlando, Florida, Orange County Convention Center. We're booth 4553. We have a free exhibit pass. Joel, what else do you want to say about Infocomm?
Exactly. So use, if you guys are going to register, you could get a free exhibit pass with our code BZB771. That's Boy Zebra Boy 771. Yep, like you said, booth 4553. We'll just next week's episode will be not next week's the next episode in 2 Thursdays, June 8th. It'll be the week prior to Infocomm, so that will be the second part of this Infocomm live stream. We will also have a live stream the following Thursday after that, June 15th, live from the show floor. So just to tease a little stuff for our next episode, for our second part, that one will be mainly what you can expect from BZBGEAR at Infocomm 2023. The new tech, any new news, new products. So we'll get more into that in our next episode. Make sure you tune in because we will have a secret word that we will reveal for you to win prizes at during our show floor live stream at Infocomm. So and then we'll just talk about, we have another giveaway as well for people going to the actual show on the show floor. So we'll get into the giveaway, new products, all the good stuff about this year's show in a couple Thursdays from now.
Absolutely. And before we go, I just want to bring this up one more time because I'm a massive dog lover. If you're going to be there, just stop at the Paws Playground and Adoption event. If you're feeling like it, maybe pick up a puppy while you're there. I'm just saying, dogs are great. They're fantastic. That's the small plug that I'm going to do there.
Can we
So
bring the plane? I wonder if, like, say we decide that we want to adopt the puppy, can they just ride on the plane with us back, or like how does that
I
work?
think they can, yeah.
Any paperwork, or because I've seen like service dogs, but in other times on the plane, they might have to
No,
ride
typically if they're small enough, you can just bring them on.
like on the plane, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you don't have okay. Because I'd be a little worried if I had to put them in the I don't know, in the baggage area. I don't know what they do.
So yeah,
um,
if you're not even from Florida and you get a puppy, you should be able to take it home with you. I'm just saying.
save a life.
Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. We had a good time with this broadcast. Really, really looking forward to Infocomm, and we hope to see you guys there in about 2 weeks, 12 days, give or take, something along those lines. So until next time, we will see you guys later, and have a great weekend.